Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews and the Wisconsin Broadcast Association. Have you ever wondered where many of our holiday traditions came from? I did, and that's why I called an expert from Hallmark Cards. He gave us the answers, and he also revealed how many things stayed the same over the years, like the increase in postage and the trends in the type of cards we send. He'll give away the year this interview took place when he mentions who was the President of the United States at that time.
Let's get the story of Christmas this morning from Eric Morgenstern, the PR director for Hallmark Cards at 8:24 here at WOKY. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Bob. Always a pleasure to talk on walkie.
Thank you very much, and it's always a pleasure having you on because you have so much interesting information. First thing I can ask you, is postal increase going to hurt card sending this year?
I don't think so. It's hard for us to put a real finger on it until about 2 months after Christmas. But, you know, Christmas is the time of year where people will write that once-a-year letter to people all over the country, and you're going to write a letter to Aunt Bertha in Seattle, whether it costs 20 cents or $2.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably enclose more clippings and notes and letters and pictures of the kids and stuff this year than ever before. At least that's what our research tells us.
Okay, what about how many cards will we exchange, do you feel, this year?
About between 2.5 and 3 billion cards, which is a pretty mind-boggling number.
Wow. So that makes Christmas first in greeting
Far
card
and away,
day.
far and away. Valentine's Day is a distant second with about 800 million exchanged.
How about hanging those Christmas stockings? Where did that tradition begin?
That's a great little tradition. It's really because good old Santa Claus slipped. It's the tradition of hanging Christmas stockings comes from a legend that while he was making his yearly rooftop visits in Holland one year, the old gent dropped his purse down a chimney. Well, to the good fortune of the residents below, it fell in a stocking that was just placed by the earth to dry. Well, the word spread quickly of the family's windfall, and the hanging of Christmas stockings became a widespread tradition. And pretty much now it's mom and dad get to fill the stockings because Santa doesn't slip as much.
A lot of people put tinsel on their trees and then on other things. Where did tinsel come from?
Another wonderful little legend, Bob. It comes from a story, an old German myth about little house spiders who spun their silken webs to decorate the bare tree of a poor woman who had been very kind to them. Well, according to this legend, their act of charity impressed an angel so much that it touched the tree and turned the spider webs to shining silver, and that's kind of where that comes from.
Okay, that's cute. She was kind to the spider, right?
That's right.
Sat down beside her. Yeah, I remember. Okay. Well, are there any trends that are evident in Christmas cards this year, Eric?
Well, Bob, always the traditional cards are always the most popular, and these are wreaths or pine-covered, snow-covered pine trees, warm winter home settings. But we're seeing a couple trends, a return to the 30s and 40s and an unusual, humorous, nostalgic approach, whether it be a Norman Rockwell or kind of a New York Post illustrated look. Also, and I don't know whether this is, Reagan Red in the White House, but elegance is becoming very, very popular again. And, with the weddings being very elegant and everything, it's the same thing on Christmas cards. Very, very rich colors, sophisticated looks, foil stamping, silk screening, very, very classy fashion statements. And those are two trends that we're seeing. Religious cards are also up.
Well, as always, you see some very class cards from Hallmark, that's for sure. And Eric, I want you to wish everybody there a very Merry Christmas for us.
And happy holidays to all our friends back in Milwaukee.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, Milwaukee. This is Neil Diamond, and needless to say, you're listening to the Bob Berry Show on WOKY. I'd like to wish you all the most fantastic Christmas and New Year that you've ever had.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. WOKY, Bob Berry, 9092.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program is made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Bond.